Hey everyone, my name is Lynn, and today I'm actually going to be filming my very first makeup routine slash video in general. Hey everyone, my name is Lynn, and today I'm actually going to be filming my very first video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my everyday makeup routine. I do wear makeup every single day. But on days that I just want to walk out of the house, but I still want to have at least my skin tone evened out, I just apply foundation and brow and powder, and that's it. But on days that I would like to spend a little bit more time on my makeup, I do the whole shebang, whereas I do like to do my contour, highlighting, and everything like that. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this. I'm filming this on my phone, so I don't know if anything's in focus. I have my viewfinder, which is my iPad right here, so I can just see if everything's like in frame, but I'm not very sure if things are in focus, so bear with me. Ding. So I've actually just come home from my classes. They've ended for the day. So I've taken off my makeup and I'm going to reapply it again so I can show you guys what I did this morning. And yeah, starting off, I am going to moisturize my skin just using my Aveeno's. Okay, I don't know if this is in focus. Here you go. My Aveeno's moisturizing lotion. Okay, now I'm on to priming. I'm actually going to be using two types of primers today. So I'm going to be using first the Too Faced Hangover Primer. So I apply that mostly on the outer edges of my face, and once I rub most of that in, I start blending it in. Now that I've rubbed that in, my second primer is going to be the Rimmel Fix and Perfect Makeup Primer, and I like this one because it is a little bit more solid than the other one, and I feel that it keeps my face pretty matte throughout the day. My face gets oily regardless of what products that I use, but it's certain type of products that make my skin become less oily, or become oily more slow. Talking is hard. Now that I have that all blended in, I'm going to move on to foundation. So what I do is I put my foundation on a metal palette. Oh my god, can you guys see my setup? Okay, here's my makeup table. Here's my little mirror. Sorry if that blinds you. I don't want to move anything. I don't know if you can see in the background. That is a tube of wax paper. And that's like my selfie stick that I've stuck my phone on. It's tragic. This setup is tragic. But going back, this is just a metal palette that you can just get on Amazon. And what I do is I actually put my foundation on here because I used to put my foundation on the palm of my hand, but I found that I would forget to take it off and it would just get everywhere. And it's a hassle to have to take it off as well. Like you have to use soap and whatever, so I prefer just doing this. You just wipe it off. I'm using the Revlon Color Stay Foundation in the shade 200. Pumping 2 pumps, and I'm going to be using the spatula. Wow.
Can I leave it upstairs?
2,000 years later.
So I'm just going to grab the foundation off of the palette. I'm going to just first lay it on my face. Make sure to take it down my neck because I really don't want like lines of, I think they're called demarcation. After you're done, you can just take a tissue and just wipe it off and use it again. For my neck area, I blend my face with a sponge, but for my neck area, I'm going to be using one of these brushes. It makes it a lot easier because on my neck, since it's curved, it's very hard for me to blend it out using a sponge. So I find that this is just like super quick. I can do it in like less than a minute. And for my face, I'm going to be using the Eco Tools sponge to blend out my foundation. You can still see the acne spots right here, but they're not as prominent. It's a lot more evened out, and so that's what I mostly look for. After this step, it's kind of odd because most people would go straight to powdering, but what I do is I set my face using a setting spray. Today I'm going to be using the Milani Make It Last, and I really like this because the mist on it is like it's really nice. So I'm just going to spray that everywhere. And I'm actually going to fan.
6.5 hours later.
Ew, that was hair in my mouth. So I want to fan myself using a Naruto fan. Just going to fan it because afterwards I'm going to be baking, so I would like this to dry first before I move on to anything else. Okay, so that has dried. Now I'm going to move on to baking my face. I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I'm going to take the flat side. Just going to pat the powder underneath my eyes and up against the edge of my nose because I get oily there. The next places that I bake are my smile lines right here. And then on my chin where I have a lot of I usually don't do this, but because I have a lot of acne right now right there, I like to set that so that I can ensure that my foundation won't wear off as quickly right there. And the last place is my forehead line right here, the creases in my forehead because my forehead tends to be very expressive. There's powder everywhere. Now time for eyebrows, which is my favorite part of doing my makeup. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to set my eyelids and my eyebrows using one of these brushes right here. And the powder I'm going to be using is the Too Faced Prime and Poreless powder. This is my favorite powder, and I've tried many from the drugstore and high-end, and this is my favorite because it doesn't clog your pores and it's very finely milled, and so it doesn't look cakey on your skin. So I'm just going to take this flat brush. I'm just going to set my eyelid and my brows. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Soft Brown. I'm just going to be using an angled brush to apply. Oh my god, this hair keeps coming back into my mouth. And if I miss any spots, that's not really an issue because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to be taking a brow pencil and I'm going to be filling in the spots that I couldn't get with my pomade. So the one that I'm using is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. Our brows are done. Okay, next step is covering my entire face now. Again, using the Too Faced Prime and Poreless powder. And the brush I'm using is my Real Techniques buffing brush. And what I do is, with the technique of baking, I don't use as much powder as I used to use. And it seems like a lot, but compared to back then, it's not a lot. So to first powder my neck because we did apply foundation there. And I like using this brush because I don't rub my powder around, I dab it into my skin. Step are going to be the eyes. I've really been liking the pink tone eyeshadow looks I've been seeing lately. So I have this blush and I just found it in my mom's makeup. It's a really nice color and it's very pigmented. It's going to be taking an eyeshadow brush. It's short and it's not very dense. It's like a little bit longer than a normal dome shadow brush, so it's perfect for blending out. So I'm just going to take some of that color. I'm going to be placing that first in the crease when I have the most product on my brush, and then when I have a little bit less, I'm going to blend it into my lid. Next, I'm going to be working on my lids. I'm going to be using the B by Bubs Beauty palette, using the shade Genuine right here. Use my fingers actually because this color is not that pigmented. portion is basically done. Right now I would either do eyeliner or mascara. Today I'm actually going to be using mascara, so I'm going to be curling my lashes. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Great Lash. Moving on to the face, I'm going to be bronzing. Bronzer. Using the It Cosmetics Vitality Disc. Oh no, I got mascara. Oh, my leg's really falling asleep. Now I'm going to be contouring my nose, and I'm going to be using two types of contouring powder. First, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild contouring palette. I use the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush because I like the dome shape, so I can get up here. This is where I'm going to start.
I'm going to start in the upper part of my nose right here.
And what that is doing when I'm applying it there is it's creating a shadow, and it's creating a shadow here, so it's like sinking in that part, making your nose bridge look deeper up here and therefore slimming it down. So that gives me an overall like nice shadow to work with. Next, I'm going to be taking my e.l.f. contouring palette. This one, which is like really skinny. I'm going to take the contouring shade right here. I'm going to create two sharps on my nose. I'm just gonna blend it. And if you can see, if you can tell, I mean, you can like my nose bridge is a lot more defined and it looks really nice. Or so I think. Now to contour my jaw, I'm going to be taking one of these brushes and taking the same shade. I'm just going to be going right underneath my hoops. My jaw right here. I've actually only started recently doing this. By recently, I mean today, because I tried out doing this before this morning. So, I don't know. I really don't ever pay attention to that area, but I thought I might be more fancy today. So, time for highlighter. So today I'm going to be using two types of highlighters, a cream and a powder. It's actually, this one's a cream to powder highlight. This one is the Essence So Glow in the shade Bright Up Your Life. I'm going to be taking my wet sponge and just going to be placing it on the sponge, dabbing it on the high points of my cheeks, which I'm not sure you can even see or tell, but it is there. Oh. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, it's so pretty. I really been liking pinky highlights lately as opposed to like champagne or gold highlights or icy highlights, because I think it complements my skin a lot better. Even though this dries down to a powder, I still like to put powder over it. And this is the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in the shade Peach Lights. And this is also a pinky tone type of highlighter. Taking the Real Techniques contouring brush. I normally don't apply blush, but today I'm going to. Estee Lauder Tender Petal brush. Blush. This is actually my mom's, this is not mine, so. Sweetie mom. I'm taking one of these because this is a very non-pigmented blush. I normally don't like blush, but I like this blush on me. So this is the Real Techniques sculpting brush, and it's very dense, which is why I want to use it for this. I'm just going to pack it, and you can see I'm doing this, and barely any product has gotten on the brush. So I'm just going to smile and apply that to the apple of my cheeks. Okay, so now for the second to last step, the lips. L'Oreal lip palette. blot off the Carmex. I'm going to be taking this shade right here. I'll blot it. Next thing I'm going to actually do is to help the lip color stay longer. I'm going to take the powder that I still have, a loose powder. I'm going to take a clean brush. I'm going to be blurring out the edges, then patting it. Essentially just powdering my whole lip. But it makes the lip color look more natural because it makes it a little bit more matte. At the same time, it's not super like drying out my lips or anything, and it helps my lip color to last longer. The last step is to set my brow, so I'm going to be using the Essence Make Me Brow in the shade Brownie Brows. And first I'm going to go in the opposite direction, and then brush them all into place. This ensures that you get every single hair. This is the finished makeup look. I'm gonna let down my hair. Okay. So this is the finished look, you guys. It's pretty natural. I mean, you can clearly see my eyeshadow. Wow. One eye is completely darker than the other eye. There you go. Here is the finished makeup look. It seems like a lot of products because when I'm explaining them, there are a lot of steps and it takes a while. But for me, this makeup routine takes me like less than 20 minutes to do every morning. And most of the time I don't do all these steps. So yeah, it varies from day to day depending on my mood, my level of laziness, and yeah. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed my very first video. Yeah, bye. Try to